Event Center for the Retro Expo, and we are here with Steve. Steve, you have some pretty cool items on display. Can you go over a couple of them and tell me your passion for these particular set of historical items?
Sure. So, my name's Steve Laboyteaux. I am a collector and a prop maker by hobby. So this is the grouping that I have for Aliens, the second movie in the trilogy. I have a number of things that I enjoyed making, like the Clone Marine armor. That's one of my favorite things that I made. This is made out of fiberglass, full cast fiberglass. So it will scratch, the paint will scratch like the original film would. So when you wear it in a convention, it'll get beat up and look like the armor did in the film, which I think is so much fun. But that's one of my favorite pieces that I have, that I made. And then another great piece I have, this is a pulse rifle, and this was a Gary Weaver kit that I made probably 20 years ago. It's a airsoft Thompson Machine Gun with a airsoft 870, and it's fully working. So the counter counts down as you pull the trigger. It will rack. But I mean, this is, again, one of my favorite props that I've ever made, just because it's just so iconic, the pulse rifles for this film. But I saw the movie in '86 when it came out, and been in love with it ever since. One of the things that I love the most about this film is the fact that it's real practical. It's what you would expect the Marines to be utilizing in the future, not laser guns and plasma rifles. So that's one of the things I thought was so great about this film. It felt very practical, and the character build was amazing. So,
And I'm assuming these are the shoes that you wore when you went into one of the lifters?
Yeah.
And made by Reebok, or?
Yeah, these are the ones Bishop would have wore. They're the short version of those that Ripley wore, yeah.
And then, can you tell me about this guy here?
So this was made by Tim Martin. He's a gentleman that works in the industry for the films. He's worked on a couple of films that we all know, alien films. He did the sculpting of some of the aliens and the creatures from those films. And Tim is a fantastic artist and sculptor. So Tim and I are good friends, and we did some bartering throughout the years. But I believe he does these for Hollywood Collectibles. So if we were interested in one, Tim can do those for you. But he also did the face hugger and the other alien head I had down there. But I love the organic feel of the aliens, and Tim nailed it. Yeah.
And then, as far as this EV suit, is this?
Also, Richie Bohotch from Norman, Oklahoma. So we made this. Back in 2009, we wore it for DragonCon. Rich and I worked on the armor parts because it's something we wanted, and it's a cool prop. So then we contacted my wife and said, "Hey, can you sew this suit?" So she's like, "Well, I think I can." So she took a stab at it, and we made a cool prop into an amazing costume. We've worn this DragonCon in 2009. We've worn Best in Show, and we also won Best in Our Class.
So this is actually a wearable outfit.
Yeah. So we helped Adam Savage with his. My wife made the soft suit for Adam for his costume that he did. We've been fortunate enough to be able to send these all over the world. So we've been contacting people that would want one for their collection. So we've made these for any number of people. But yeah, this is a great costume.
And then I heard from inside the show, you ran into a gentleman that was making the uniforms for the original Alien, and yes, we just spoke to him, and he had mentioned something that you had given him some ideas on buttons and snaps and stuff.
I was fortunate enough to become friends with Mr. Bob Burns, who is a curator of a lot of the original movie props and costumes in California. Bob let me have access to them so I could do some research on it for other people. So he let me take measurements of the patches and the buttons and the screen use shirt, so I was able then to help Adam with his project, with giving him information as far as what I remembered, the photographs that I had, so he could perfect his costume. So I love helping other people when they're trying to endeavor to do something better than what's out there. So I think it's great to be able to be a part of something like that, yeah.
So what was it originally? Was it, were you an alien or an aliens that kicked off your fandom?
Alien, the first film, scared me as a kid. I mean, and the thing about Alien that I love so much is the fact that you don't see the blood and gore. It's the mental horror, the mental suspense that makes that such a phenomenal film, because you don't know what's around the corner. And that suspense horror is so much better in my mind than Blood and Guts. So this franchise, you had the most amazing horror film with Alien, and then you had the most amazing action adventure. So it's the best of both worlds, because most sequels, they can't pull them off. But with Ridley Scott and James Cameron, they nailed it.
Well, thank you for your time. Have a great rest of the show. We appreciate you being on the Geek and I podcast.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.